On February 18th, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested that Ukraine should hold new elections, indirectly criticizing President Volodymyr Zelensky's leadership during the ongoing war with Russia. His remarks came shortly after U.S. and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia to discuss potential strategies for ending the war, a meeting that notably excluded Ukraine. Trump's comments have sparked controversy, as they appear to shift blame onto Ukraine for the prolonged conflict, rather than holding Russia accountable for its aggression. Trump's claim that Ukraine should have avoided the war by negotiating with Russia has drawn sharp criticism. He told reporters, "You've been there for 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal." These remarks align with his past statements blaming Zelensky and the Biden administration for the escalation, despite Russia being the aggressor. Critics argue that this rhetoric undermines Ukraine's sovereignty and echoes Kremlin narratives. Trump also falsely claimed that Zelensky's approval rating had fallen to 4%, contradicting recent polls that show 52% of Ukrainians still support him. Attempting to distance himself from Russian propaganda, Trump insisted that his call for elections in Ukraine was his personal view and not Kremlin-aligned. However, his words could embolden Russian narratives and weaken global support for Ukraine. He also exaggerated the level of destruction in Ukraine, claiming that most cities had been blown to smithereens, and suggesting an early peace deal could have prevented the devastation. This overlooks the fact that Russia's unprovoked invasion and ongoing attacks are the true cause of Ukraine's suffering. The Riyadh talks, where U.S. and Russian officials met without Ukraine, have raised concerns in Kiev and among its allies. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio described them as the beginning of a long diplomatic process, promising Ukraine and Europe would be included in future negotiations. Meanwhile, Trump's direct phone call with Putin on February 12th, followed by a conversation with Zelensky, has sparked speculation about his diplomatic approach. Some see his willingness to engage with Putin as undermining Ukraine, while others view it as an attempt to de-escalate the war. Trump's remarks and the U.S.-Russia talks highlight the challenges in resolving the war.